Hello Minecrafters, this is Nonsanity, and this is a little extra behind the scenes of my latest tutorial on applied energistics, where I decided to make a very big wall of storage. So, yeah, that's still in the progress right now. I've got the turtles working hard. Slave labor. Each one of them is programmed to handle one of these 8 wide columns. They've got a supply of drives inside them. Let me look and peek inside this guy here. Whoop, don't do that. There we go. Oh, he's almost out. Let me give him some more. That's probably because he's on his last row before he stops. Yeah, same with this guy. I'll give him more anyway. And they also have in their last slot an ender chest. And in this ender chest, let's take a peek, are 64k cells that are completely filled. Did I give him too many? I did. Completely filled with full cells. These are cells that are completely loaded up with cobblestone. I made one of them down there and then put it into a creative strongbox, and that I pumped out into this chest and continuously pumping out into this chest. So we're going to have as many cobblestone cells as we need. I think this guy just ended and he was one short. So let's put one in myself. I've got the chest. I don't want... Whoop! That was a mistake. There's going to be holes. I was saying I don't want to take too many at once, because... Yeah, I bet you there's going to be holes. Ugh. If I get too greedy and take too many, then some of them aren't going to have what they need. Yeah, look, see? He didn't have what he needed at the time. And so now there's gaps I'm going to have to fill by hand. Yep, here's 4. Yeah, and all these guys have stopped. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. They're right on schedule. I can give them a new set and say 1 rec. There they go. 1 rec. Now, the background there is Industrial Craft 2 iron scaffolds, because the turtles need something to place the drives against, otherwise the drives face upwards. Just a thing about turtles, when they're placing blocks that care which direction you're looking, since the turtles don't really look, it has a slightly different effect. I can break that. And using these presets are very handy for when I'm doing frames or doing the drives. I can fill them up and get them going again. I've had a few crashes which cause some problems because all the turtles stop. Because I'm doing this on a single player. And you must have run out early. So I'm going to start you down here. There are a lot of drops down on the ground that are probably timing out. I started him down here so he does a complete set and knows where he is, but he will skip over the ones that are already there. Here's another gap. Let me grab 4 out of this when he places it down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Oh, needs 6. So when the turtles put the ender chest on top of their heads, they're grabbing out individual cells, because you can only take one at a time, they don't stack, and loading them into the drives, as you can see there. Then he puts the chest back in its place and goes to the next spot. It's a very simple program, just repeating over and over again. And they do all the work, not me. I also have programs in there that did the vertical and horizontal graphite frame blocks. I did the scaffolding background because I could do that with the builder's wand here. By using the scaffolding, I can come back. In fact, I think it's time to do it over here. Let's see. I have it in chunks. Yep. They have passed the chunk level. So this whole chunk of scaffolding can come down. And I do that just by going along the bottom here and taking out the support. Oh, come on. And all of it comes tumbling down. A lot of drops down there. See if these guys all gotten past this point. Almost. That one's doing the last few. Yeah, it looks like the rest have all made it up. Just waiting on that guy. And there he's done. All right. I can take out this one now too. Very satisfying. And it's going to be slow if I get down to the ground level for the next 5 minutes. And this one's done too. Okay. Well, I done screwed up. Look at this. These aren't connecting because this is a light tunnel, not a P2P tunnel. Like that, an ME tunnel. So these have to come down. But that's okay. I can show you how I've used turtles to make laying out these cables a little bit easier. First, I've got to get rid of these bad tunnels. And because of the way turtles place stuff, I also have to get rid of these colored cables because they're going to be in the way. But that's okay. I can use turtles for that too. I've got a program, this 3, that just makes them go down, breaking everything below them. And the 3 is how many sections to do. There. There's 3 sections, red, blue, yellow, down that side. This side is purple, red, and blue. So it's going to go down all 3 sections. Now I have to, see, it's done a good job ripping out everything. They'll stop down at the ground. And now I'll put in a couple extra turtles here. These 2 are going to put in the tunnels. And this is black, gray, light gray. So give it smart cables, black, gray, and light gray, and give it some ME tunnels this time. And run the P2P program for 3 sections. Load in the same materials, do the same for this guy. Black, gray, light gray, P2P for 3 sections. And you can see they're placing those parts. Now these guys will replace the cables, which are purple, red, blue. So purple, red, blue, and this is called cable, and we're going to do it 3 as well. Again, loading up the same materials, purple, red, blue, cable, 3. Now that's all I have to do. I've got the magnet mode turned on here so I can pick up all the drops. So they're coming down. How are the other ones doing? Putting the cables on. Destroyers have done their job. Cables are coming down. Here are the 4 destroyers. I'll get them out of the way. There's the first of the P2Ps. Here comes the other P2P, doing its job. Okay. And the other guys will take a little while getting down here with the cables, but their counterparts have finished over here doing the exact same thing. The horizontal cables all I had to lay out by hand because those are all specific just to get them around each other and as compact a way as possible. But yeah, with something this big, you don't want to do it by hand. Turtles placed the drives, Turtles built the black lines, Turtles are doing a lot of the repetitive cabling. There, one's done. And this is the last one, and now everything properly connects. Look at that. Have the right tunnels. And I think that would now be it. It is complete. I think I've checked everything now, and I fixed all the ones that had the light tunnel. That's a problem when you start doing things automated. You do it once wrong, and it's going to repeat the wrongness many, many times over. Thankfully, Turtles and automation makes it easier to build something this big. I just wish I could teach the Turtles to use the memory cards. A few people have asked about how much power this would take. I was curious myself. I've never really measured out the power needs of Applied Energistics 2 before because, I usually have plenty by the time I'm making significantly sized builds using big reactors for power. So I thought, all right, let's break it down. Thankfully, all the cable does not use any power. If we come up here and use the network tool, and first let's click on the cube. It's got a few pieces of cable attached to it. Not too much. These are mostly the stuff on the wall. More would come online if I connected up more of the tunnels to this thing. But the cables don't add any power use. This terminal is only 1 RF per tick. We can ignore that for now. And the creative energy cell is providing power, so of course it's not using any. So the only two things are the ME controllers and the ME drive. Now the ME controllers, I've got about 215 here with about 10 more up here, I think. Oops, gotta get a little closer. Yeah, 10 more up here. But I'm using a slightly more ME controller intensive design. That design out there would not only give you more tunnels, but use less ME controllers. So let's assume either that one or this one or a mix of the two and just call it 200. And that's causing a drain of a little over 1K here. We also have the drives, which it says it's using 25K. Now again, most of the drives are not hooked up because they're not linked P2P. But I know how many drives there are, and I now know how many of the ME controllers. We're going to call that 200. And I can calculate how many tunnels there are. So let's figure out on a piece by piece, since that's not giving me an exact values, let's calculate it ourselves. So here we've got creative energy cell, no power use, it's providing power. ME cable, no power use, just the tunnel, 2 RF per tick. All right, now I've got 960 of the tunnels, I think. So if we tally that up, let's put that on the ground like that. And look at that, 960 P2P tunnels at 2 RF each. It's 1,920 RF per tick. So almost 2,000 RF a tick for the tunnels. All right, 2,000 RF a tick. We can handle that. That's not bad at all. Now the ME controllers, if we check it, it's using 6 RF for 1, and we have 200. All right, we can do that calculation as well, and that comes to with around 200. At 6 RF a tick, it's 1,200 RF per tick, so only a little bit better than the tunnels. All right, so we're about a little over 3,000 RF per tick. We're doing okay. All right, so time to check the drives. 4 RF per tick for the drives. They're, not using as much as the ME controllers, but we have a lot more of them. We've got a little over 15,000 of them. So 15,000 at 4 RF a tick comes to 61,000 RF per tick. That's significant, but I can do that. Maybe 3 turbines in the size that I like to build with one big reactor and 3 turbines. Yeah, I can do that. But this is an empty one. Is it different when they're full? So let's step on this little panel here, which fills it up. And let's check it again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's gone from 4 RF a tick to 44 RF a tick. This is no longer accurate. We need a new sign. 15,360 drives at 44 RF per tick, 675,840 RF a tick. Remember, a tick is a 20th of a second. Over 500,000 RF every tick. Okay, that's going to be a little bit harder to produce. Not to mention the extra 3,000 you need for these, but that just is a drop in the bucket compared to this. Yeah, all these drives, you're not going to be powering them anytime soon. Let's see if I can do my turbine designs. Yeah, it'd take 20 turbines? So more than one reactor. I think the reactor can only power 15 turbines. So while it is conceivable, it is highly unlikely. Yeah. And if you're wondering how I did all this, since this is the behind-the-scenes video, I've got a chest down there with an unlimited supply of these filled storage cells, and this button just activates a conduit to pump them in. Fairly effective. And over here, to make these signs autofill, I've got some Steve's factory managers down here that are putting the text onto the signs. This isn't a regular block. It looks like a laboratory block, but it's actually a camouflaged cable with a sign writer. So each of these has one of them underneath set up to pre-record the sign. So all I have to do is place the sign down and it fills in. And I could also have them stand up instead of using the flat signs mod. Just makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, the power needs are excessive. Just so you know. And knowing is half the battle. So thanks for watching the behind the scenes and watching the original video. And thanks for watching my Let's Play videos if you watch those. If you're not, go watch them. Why not? You've only got time to lose. Let me waste your time. Alright, this is Nonsanity signing out. See you next time. Be good. Take care. Bye-bye.